So despite the new thumbnail, this is not a new series. This is a return to the Hardcore Terraria Master Mode series. I went back and I've updated all the thumbnails for the series because I felt like it needed it. The thumbnail style that I used for Calamity, the modded mage, I really liked. And I feel like I need to, the truffle. We'll talk about the truffle arriving in a moment here. But yeah, I feel like doing the modded mage series updated my style on the thumbnails for this series, and it works really well for it. So I updated the entire series, all 35, and it took me the better part of an entire day to go and do that because those are all custom made, one at a time. I have to like go and get certain items and whatnot to stage it on a screenshot world that I have and everything. Either way, thumbnails looking spicy. And you know what else is spicy? What we're about to do. I'm so excited for this next chapter of Hardcore Terraria because we just killed Plantera. So we're in a fantastic. Let's go with fantastic. I don't know. My brain just went right there. We're in a fantastic spot. The next boss that we have to kill is, of course, Golem, and that's going to be pretty easy. Not concerned about that. But we do have a few little farming things that we need to do first. The first is off over here. We've got ourselves our little setup for the whatchamacallit, the snow biome. I just made a quick little house, nothing too fancy. We moved in the Tinkerer here, Cyborg there, Mechanic over here. And the first little thing that we need to actually do is come over here to the Crimson, and I've already preset this up. Traveling Merchant has arrived. Actually, I'm gonna go check out, see what he's got in a second here. I'll probably cut that out though. That's not important stuff. But yeah, so I set up a little farming spot where we can just kind of dip in here. Ooh, close that, and get all these nerds to come in here and just die. The reason why is one, I need to bring a battle potion over here. Oh, we just got a blindfold. I actually think we needed a blindfold, so that works out well for us. But we need to farm this out for a Crimson key because we need to open up the Crimson chest in the dungeon. It's going to get us the Vampiric Knives, which is a weapon that is absolutely going to dominate for this next part of Hardcore Terraria, and may end up being something that is the key to our success when it comes to the pillars. If we can defeat the pillars, which again, I've mentioned multiple times here, that's going to be our big sticking point. If we could defeat them and not die on them, then I think I could do the Moonlord, because the Moonlord, honestly, once you understand its attack pattern, Moonlord's pretty easy with a wide variety of different builds. So we'll just take the strongest one that we feel, like I'm most comfortable with, and then go and defeat the Moonlord. So that's the current plan. This is all easy stuff right here. I just need to get a battle potion to do this, and I can make it even easier and pop one of these in here. So like this is an AFK farming spot. This is one of the many things we're doing in today's video. The second thing is I've set up a similar thing in the dungeon right about here. So I've got a little lava trap set up here. I've got a little room that I've dug out of the wall there. And that is basically another thing we're going to do. That one's a little bit more difficult. Primarily because despite, I really need some torches here. Sorry, mobile gang. Look, I know a huge percentage of you right now are watching on mobile. Just statistically speaking from my own analytics, I'm trying to make Terraria more viewable on mobile for you guys. It's difficult because what's viewable on mobile means that, I lose out on a lot of extra space that I can be seeing, but like this looks great on mobile. You're like, oh, I can see everything going on the screen. The moment I zoom out, you're like, that's a teeny tiny little man. That's a teeny tiny xenomorph. So yeah, we're gonna go to the dungeon and we're gonna farm out stuff there. I already have some stuff farmed out because obviously I was setting this stuff up in the dungeon beforehand, and I'm not ready to do any of this just yet. I'm just sitting here because I'm talking, and I'm also farming out some items from this. So let's go back to our main little base. The other thing that we did, if I could find it. I think it's in this chest. Yeah, so we have a bunch of stuff. We have a bunch of ectoplasm. I'm going to use this to make the Spectre bars. And with that, we're going to make the mage set, the Spectre Armor. And I got a magnet sphere like almost within the first minute of going back to the dungeon to set up our little farming spot. So I was happy about that. We got a paladin shield. Not going to use that right now. We got a morning star, so if we really want to use a summon, we can. We also got the jousting lance. I find this weapon so fascinating, and let's look at it. So build momentum to increase attack power, right? So we're just gonna. Oh, I don't want to be in the crafting menu. So it's at 157 melee attack. Can I hover? Oh, it's not going to tell me what it is. Anyways, the faster you're going, the more damage it does. It's kind of a fancy weapon. It's cool. Are we going to use it? Probably not. Oh, there's the, I said I was going to cut this out, but he don't got anything that I want. That's fine. So we got the Morning Star too. It's a whip. It's a really large whip. It's quite nice. The direct upgrade to the Morning Star is the Kaleidoscope from the Empress of Light, but we're not doing her anytime soon. And I need better summons, so that's another thing that we need to do. I actually got a couple Morning Stars, didn't I? Let's drop this stuff in here. I'll keep that on my bars for now. Actually, I'll keep it in my inventory. And then we got the Magnet Sphere. Now, this is such a good weapon, and it's going to be so good for us for farming the stuff that we need to. So we're going to keep that with us. Also, we have, now that we've defeated Plantera, opened up the Mothras on the solar eclipse, which allows us to get the Broken Hero Sword, which allows us to get the Terra Blade. So we can actually upgrade that if we want to keep doing melee. I mean, we're ready to pivot anytime that we want here. There was... we have the Hallowed Key. I almost forgot about that. So we gotta do that. Also got a Wisp in a bottle and a key brand. I'm gonna keep the Wisp in a bottle for mobile viewers. You're welcome. I picked up a second water candle because I was gonna... if I go set up another farm spot, I wanted to have one of those, and I don't like going into the dungeon because the dungeon is dangerous. Did I mark one of these chests? That's the desert chest. Okay, so that's the other thing we need. We need a desert key. So we're going to set up a farm spot for that because the tiger is a pretty good summon to just have with you. Now, usually what I do, and I don't know if I've done... Yeah, usually what I do, you see here, there's the crimson chest. So that's the important one. Where's our hallowed chest? Usually what I do, as I said, is I go through and there's the hallowed chest. Actually, that's pretty easy to get through. I go through and I mark my chests. It's funny because I did this so many episodes ago. But yeah, I go through and I mark my chests with all of these torches. So that way you can absolutely see... Oh crap, I didn't pick up the key, did I? So you can absolutely see on the map with a glance, like, oh yeah, that's where the chest is. So I know where it's at. I can go get it. Let's use this hallowed key that we got so long ago, it feels like. But you know what the funny thing is, though? It feels like long ago because in relation to time, it was. Because I took the break from the hardcore series to go do the Calamity Mage series, which I think actually did help. I feel like I'm a better player because of it, and it's because of that that I'm confident we can get quite a bit further in hardcore. But yeah, I went and did the farming of the key. Actually, I didn't even farm it. It just happened to drop while I was trying to get other things so long ago, and it feels like it was another lifetime. Then again, 2020 was a very strange year for time in general. Can we just teleport down here? Yes, we can. Let's open this sucker up and give it all to me and then get the heck out of there. So the rainbow gun is really cool. If you haven't seen the rainbow gun, let me point it out to you real quick because it does that and it lasts for approximately 20 seconds. Now, when you have a boss like Golem who has multiple sections and he kind of goes like this, he likes to move all of the sections through this weapon here. And then, well, that's a very flaccid rainbow. I beg your pardon. Yeah, so then, we'll use these spheres to essentially blast the golem. It's going to be great. I'm very confident in that. But we, of course, need chlorophyte bars in order to make the armor. So we have a few things to do. Now, the final thing that I did do on my own, so I went and just built this little shack over off over here, which you saw Truffle move in. That's nice. So now we have Truffle as an NPC. So we have the auto hammer, which, man, the auto hammer costs so much. Nah, it's fine. So using the auto hammer, we can make the shroomite bars. So now we have access to powerful ranger gear too. So we're just like, we have so many options available to us. And I'm very much, like I said, looking forward to this chapter of Terraria. So I think the first order of business is going through and getting us some more chlorophyte. This sucks, even though I've been on the world for a bit, doing the setups for the essentially AFK farms. They're not AFK, especially the dungeon one, but it, in theory is an AFK farm. I guess that's the best way to put it. So doing that kind of setup allows us to have more of the chlorophyte spawn in, but it's still not enough, right? Like, we need so much of this stupid stuff in order to actually make the set of armor that we want. It's not just this armor either. It's like, if I want to make the shroomite stuff, then we need even more chlorophyte. It's not the greatest. Honestly, I think the biggest thing for me to do right now is to go get our crimson key. So just sit there, farm that out, then go get our vampire knives, which is going to allow us to be extremely tanky because that weapon steals health as you do damage. It's really, really good if you've never seen it. In fact, it's so good that there are moments that if you're specifically prepared for an event or a couple different bosses, you're basically unkillable. And as a hardcore character, that's kind of exactly everything we ever wanted and needed. So that's like priority number 1 is getting that key. Then priority number 2 is going and getting the rest of the stuff from the dungeon. So like the Spectre staff and whatnot. And then finally, after that, the next priority would be to go get the rest of the stuff that we need to fight Golem. Now, that's not much, so it's mostly just getting the rest of the herbs that I need for my buffs, because honestly, I'm out of some fish and some herbs in order to get the normal buffs that I get. So like that's something that I got to do. Not too concerned about that. That'll be pretty quick. But everything else, doing the vampire knives and the whatchamacallit, the Spectre staff is just going to be so time consuming. This like farming session that we essentially have to do to set up for the next part, even though Golem is not difficult and we can kind of cheese our way into the temple if we really wanted to. Like, that's another thing to consider. So that way we don't even have to disarm like a large part of our jungle temple. There's a bunch of stuff that you could do to get to Golem and make that fight a lot easier, but it's already really easy. I just want to be sure that that's not the thing that takes us out. You don't want to underestimate a boss. That would be the worst thing to do in hardcore, because then you die and then you feel embarrassed because you're like, really? I died to that? It's like dying to, I don't know. It's like dying to a green slime once you're in hardcore. You're like, how could I have died to a green slime? That's so embarrassing. So I just want to be sure we got everything set up. We're not getting ourselves into a situation where we're dying to stupid crap, especially a boss that is not that difficult. And once we do kill Golem, we'll be able to make beetle armor, and that's going to be pretty awesome too. But again, it's we need to farm stuff before we get to that point. So we have a Spectre mask, we have the Spectre robe, but we don't quite have enough for the pants. Little unfortunate, but to be expected, to be completely honest. So is it the chlorophyte that's holding us back? It might be. I don't think it's the Spectre bars. Let's go check with the guide. Crafting. Hey, guidey bud. What do I need to make some pants? I need 18. Okay, so we need, oh crap, how do we, I think it's every 1 bar is a Spectre bar, so we get 16 bars if we do Okay, so we just need to go back to the dungeon, and then we'll switch to the Spectre stuff for a little bit. The only problem is we don't have all of our mage accessories set up, right? The one that I really would want is a mana flower, so... Oh, and then I need mana potions, too. That's another thing to consider. And I don't really have a normal mana... Okay, you know what? I'm not going to worry about setting up that just yet. Just yet. Because I feel like what I need to do instead... Well, first of all, let's get our summons out. What I need to do instead is just go get a Spectre Staff. If I get a Spectre Staff, then that'll be really nice. But then, again, I'm in a situation where I'm like, do I want to get a Spectre Staff? Or do I just want to go... All right, let's go try to get the Crimson Key. If we get the Crimson Key, I'll feel a lot more confident about just sitting in the dungeon farming stuff out. This is working so well because the Crimson enemies just are really easy to farm out. If you're doing this in the Corruption, you do have to worry about the worms that show up. So they're, having the Rod of Discord is really nice, obviously, because then you can just bounce out of your hole or go back to town if you really feel like you're in that much danger. So I'm actually kind of surprised this is working as well as I wanted it to. But, hey, you know what? We took the work and we set it up and things are working, so we'll just let it farm out. I guess the only thing really that you worry about is these wraiths. So that's why you really can't AFK farm this as a hardcore character, unless you have some pretty solid summons that are going to keep you alive. A summoner build in general is pretty good for AFK farming. So just keeping that in mind, I think if you're going to try to AFK farm this stuff in hardcore, just don't. Just play it safe, honestly. But I did want to quickly mention that the support for this series and for Terraria in general on the channel has been really good. I am super impressed with the amount of people that just love watching it. And I love watching, your guys' comments and reading them and responding to them. So keep that all up. Obviously, I really enjoy making these videos. So it certainly helps the creation process to feel like, there's a bunch of people that are rather invested in this series and want to see me succeed and not just die on the pillars, even though I'm pretty sure that's what's good. Look, I'm setting expectations. I'm probably going to die on the stupid pillar phase, so don't get too excited. It's going to happen. It always happens. In all of my testing, I've never been able to do the pillars without dying at least once, even playing it super careful. So not hyper confident on it. I just don't like the pillars. I mentioned this in the modded series. It's been rough, man. I hate the pillars. It doesn't matter what you do to them. It's one of the worst. Also, the completely unrelated thought, the 10th anniversary of Terraria is coming up the end of this week. That's crazy to think about. I've almost been doing YouTube for 10 years. It will be 10 years in August. And to think that Terraria is having its 10th anniversary is pretty phenomenal. Good job on them. You know what I just learned? Is that, I'm sitting here in this hole farming this stuff out. But as it turns out, if you start an event in the respective biome, the event monsters that spawn have a chance of dropping that biome key. So for example, if we started a pirate event or a Martian invasion or something like that, those enemies will have a chance of dropping the biome key. That's kind of good to know. I was reading up on the wiki for that kind of stuff because I was like, how long is this really going to take me? Turns out probably going to take me quite a while, especially if I want to do the desert one too. Like biome key stuff or paying the butt to farm. Okay, so I think I'm going to pivot because I'm kind of bored. I've been doing this for 10 minutes now. Kind of bored just sitting here. I don't know why. I'm just like itching to play Terraria, and sitting here farming is not playing. So we're going to head back for a minute. And what I'm going to do instead is go get the rest of my Spectre stuff because I want to try that out because that is definitely a goal for today. So let's get this stuff set up. We'll head back over to here. And of course, we'll go down into our little farming area, which I guess I didn't show you when I went and got the hallowed chest. So, may as well go down there, check that out, show you guys what that's all about because I think I got a pretty good setup going. I utilized essentially just one of the walls of the dungeon, how it was quite thick and allowed me to build kind of a safe box to be in. And that's the thing, is you want to be in a safe box, not a tiny one. Because if you're in a tiny one and you have enemies spawning like this that can go through walls and stuff, it's not safe. It's really, really not safe for you. Or like enemies like this, right? So this is our box on the left here. Oh, we just got the, what's that called? The shadow something staff. Shadow beam, that's what it is. You know what? That's actually a pretty good find. We're going to pop up here because it does help prevent those guys from spawning down there. So that's just another thing. And my battle potion also wore out. I had made another one, but I don't have one. Not that I need one for it in here. But these dark casters are... Actually, it's not them that are the problem. It's the ones that teleport around. They seem to be the problem. And this is also why I have this little area that I unlocked here. Because there was a hole there already. Oh, it's a paladin. There was, yeah, these guys, the Diabolists, the Diabolists, whatever they are, they're annoying. They're so freaking annoying. I hate them so much. So, oh my goodness. They do so much damage. You just got to watch your health and be ready to get the heck out if you really need to. Because, like, I can't do anything to them, right? Like, right now, we're danger mode, but we're just going to back out. It's tough, but we did just get this. It is a pretty nice little staff. Is it going to be helpful for what we got going on? Not really. I'm burning to death. Where's the nurse? Hello there. Obviously quite important to have that nurse around because that would have killed me. This is why you got to pay attention when you're there. It's tough. You can't just sit there and farm. And this is kind of what I found while I was building that little thing out. I often had to just teleport back. I was like, I'm getting in over my head. Let's get out of there. What I will try instead is, well, yeah, let's try that. So I'm gonna try the whip because I think the whip actually does work through walls. And then we'll put the sphere on because I could put that through the little floor area there too. So that should help out a little bit. Okay, so the whip definitely doesn't work through the wall. And with the orb, I could just toss the orb out there. But we do have the scythe. So the scythe does work through the wall. So kind of go a little bit of... a little bit more defensive with the scythe. Just utilize that stuff to kill these guys off. Ooh, got a bone lee. That's the thing. Like even with building this, I killed a few bone lees. Didn't get anything from them. Really kind of annoying. I just want your loot, bone lee. Give me your loot. Oh, there's some more ectoplasm. That's like key. We want all that. Oh, I got a golden key. Speaking of keys, not that I need it, but oh, I got a tally counter too. You know, I think that's something that we actually ended up needing for making our final set of items. I saw the bone lee down there. Oh, there's a key brand too. Why is there a key brand down there? I guess one of our summons must have done it. All right, let's just kill this guy, please. I don't like him. He's not nice. Can we toss one of these out? Because he may teleport. Yeah, that worked. I don't know about this. Getting kind of dicey here with these. Oh, he dropped a voodoo doll. Oh, we got tactical shotgun. Actually, you know what? That is a pretty good find. The tactical shotgun is not a bad little item. It's quite good. And we also got another jousting lance. So I just want to pop down here. I don't necessarily want to kill all this. But they're kind of in a good spot. I just want to pick these items up and kill him off. And then I guess we can go back to town because I'm really low and I don't want to risk it. So we'll do that. Also, our inventory is completely full. The tactical shotgun does a lot of damage. So we'll hold on to that. For our ranged thing, we'll put that in there. We'll put the tally counter in there. I don't think I have... Well, I guess the 4 ectoplasm are going to be enough, right? Because that gives us 8. Gives us 18, which was enough for the pants. Boom. So now we have the Spectre pants. So the Spectre set is really interesting. We have that hood, but I'm not going to make the hood right this moment. But the hood allows you to heal yourself with the damage you're doing. So that's an option. But essentially, here is the set bonus, right? So it's 10% increased magic damage and critical strike chance. Set bonus magic damage done will hurt extra nearby enemies. It's actually really, really strong and is essentially the best mage set until you get to the nebula armor. So solid stuff here. And just in general is really, really good. All of these give extra magic damage, movement speed, all that fun stuff. So that is an option for us, especially because now we have the rainbow gun. So if I set up my accessory here, so basically I'm just swapping out the power glove for a mage one, then Golem is now an option for us. Like, we've done that. Yeah, we could do the Spectre staff. That's kind of the next big farming thing. But what I want to do now, because I'm now into super boring mode, and I'm not even joking about that. We're literally in super boring mode for this next, I don't know, hour of gameplay. I want to farm out my Crimson Key. So I'm just going to sit there as I was before, farming it out. Then I'm going to go to the dungeon and do what I was just doing there. Just sitting there, farming that stuff out, watching for those stupid mage dudes, because I hate those guys. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that I actually did go get the tax collector from the underworld, so that way I could have the NPCs there. That's the optimal setup for the underground, and of course this is the optimal setup for the snow biome. I also need to get a couple more NPCs over here to Truffles, so that way I could teleport to him real quick. And yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go farm these two spots. And it's possible that I may get the itch to go farm in the desert. Where is our other desert? Because obviously, I don't want to farm up here. I could go underground. I could always farm underground in the desert to get the desert key. But didn't I have something else? I don't remember. Maybe not. All right, so yeah, I'm going to go farm those spots, and then we'll pick up probably in the next episode of me having gotten most of the stuff that I need in order to push on to the not boring content.